Okay, let's play a small game. Let's say you are the United board. Now, you have all the players that are about to go: Garnacho, Rashford on loan, Anthony, Sancho, you name it. And we have all these players to sell, and we have all these players to buy with the money that we think is left over. So, who would you sign and why? Comment that down below. Anyway, first of all, in the position that we are right now, first of all, we have Cunha in, we have Mbomo in. Now, assess all the options, all the players that we have currently. What is the first weakness that we see? You might say goalkeeper. You might say number 9. My first focus is on a midfielder, and that midfielder for me is Douglas Luiz. Why do I say Douglas Luiz? It would be a very simple deal to do, especially with a loan to option to buy, because we already have Sancho potentially heading there. Because even though the deal has stalled, the news just keeps coming back up, and I think that Sancho will be a Juventus player in no time. Now, Højlund is apparently being eyed by Juventus, and that deal could very much accelerate with Douglas Luiz being involved. We could do a swap deal. We could go and buy a new player, but I would say swap Højlund for Douglas Luiz. I would say for me, the valuation is about the same, 25 million pounds. If you want to push it 30 million. Either way, they don't want Douglas Luiz. We don't want Højlund. They want Højlund. We want Douglas Luiz. We need that midfield sorted fast. And we need, for that Arsenal game, we need a new midfielder. No questions asked. And so the first deal I would do is midfielder in, Douglas Luiz, Højlund, pretty much net zero spend. Now, next up, let's assume Garnacho is gone. Then, in that case, get me 50 million. I'm going and signing Tyler Dibling. Why is Tyler Dibling, first of all? Why Tyler Dibling? Why not a striker? Simply put, you look at the players that we have right now, they're all interchangeable, right? The one attacker I would say that you can't really play number 9 is Ahmad. Because Cunha has played centre forward. Mbomo has played striker. And Zirkzee can play striker. And all 3 options, I would say, are very much suited to that striker role. Let's say you don't want to play Zirkzee. You can still play Cunha, Mbomo, and Ahmad as a front 3. And right behind him, Tyler Dibling. Why Tyler Dibling? The guy's got an engine and he can pass a football. And he can find the net. Like, if you want a player who can really connect, a player who's going to revolutionize the Premier League, people like Spurs, no. Teams like Spurs, teams like Leipzig, teams that are very much oriented around youth and who want to bring out the next best prospect, they are looking at Tyler Dibling. We know City and Liverpool on another day would be looking at Tyler Dibling as a young signing. Wilcox has worked with Southampton with Tyler Dibling before. So it wouldn't be impossible to even negotiate a good deal. So deal number 2, Tyler Dibling. Now, having spent 50 million with the Garnacho money, next up you have the Anthony and Sancho money. Next up you have the Anthony money, which is about 40 million. With that 40 million, next up for me, I would already put Lisandro Martinez in CDM. So if you have Douglas Luiz and Lisandro Martinez, now you go raise the funds for an Ollie Watkins. Because while I said we don't need a striker, it's never bad to have options. And considering that the Watkins situation is kind of tenable, considering that the situation with Aston Villa is kind of tenable over there is a good chance we could just go swoop in 40 million, pull Ollie Watkins out. And with that Anthony money, you go and swoop in for Watkins. Why Watkins now? Watkins serves a very similar role to Zirkzee, but in a different way. Because yes, he does still have pace. Premier League proven. He scored 15 goals plus in multiple seasons in the Premier League. But at the same time, Ollie Watkins is a facilitator. At the same time, he can score goals. He doesn't have to be a starter. In fact, nobody has to be a starter. Everybody can be rotated constantly, even though we have only 1 game a week. That's the interesting part. So depending on the game that we have, we can either play technical players or we can just go gung-ho with pace merchants. And the funny thing is, whether it's Cunha, Mbomo, Ahmad, Ollie Watkins, you name it, they're all a fusion of both pace and technical. Maybe not the best of the best, but still good enough to get us to the levels that we want. And after all this, don't worry, I haven't forgotten. We need a goalkeeper. Goalkeeper, even though Onana is terribly bad, is lower on my priority list because I think a midfielder is more important. I think a striker is more important. Then we finally come to a goalkeeper. And in this goalkeeper position, I'm going to go and sign Emi Martinez. Emi Martinez because we just need a winner. We just need shithousery. That entire team that we're building, I don't want nice guys anymore. You know what? We have tried it in the past. Nice guys just don't work. That's not the model we want. We just want winners, ruthless individuals who are there to just win a game, who will take the game by the scruff of its neck. And with Martinez, the guy is going to save penalties. With the clunky defense that we have, with the clunky midfield we have, we are going to concede penalties. And in that, you want nobody else other than Martinez. In the smaller games, is he a good player? It's debatable. But in the crucial moments, you can agree, I can agree, that he is a clutch player. Just look at the World Cup final, for example. If Martinez doesn't make that save from Kolo Muani in that 119th minute, you know Messi is not ending up with the World Cup. You know Martinez and Argentina are not winning that World Cup. In the clutch moments, you can look at even the Champions League. You can look at the Conference League the season before. Anytime Villa or Argentina have needed this guy to come up clutch, every penalty shootout I've seen this guy playing, he has won pretty much everything. Which tells you that this guy is meant for the big moments. And this guy is the ultimate shithouse. And that is what we need in the back line. Because we have too many nice guys. We have nice guys, that's fine. But we need a mix of shithousery. You brought in Cunha, who is a hothead. We have Bruno, who's a mixed guy anyways. He's a mixed bag. Tyler Dibbling is not the softest guy. And then now you have this guy in behind. And Ollie Watkins, another fiery head. This is the mix of squad we want, guys. We want a squad that is not liked by other people, that can deliver results. That's what we used to be built on. Under Ferguson, we weren't the nice guys. We were the guys who would just beat the hell out of anybody. And we want to create a team just like that again. So comment down below what you guys think and who would you sign? What is your transfer plan from this point on if you were the head of Man United? Comment that down below and see you on the next one.